Hello, my name is Stephen Hamby, and today I'm going to be advocating for the adoption of pets instead of purchasing from breeders. According to the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, the ASPCA, 920,000 animals are euthanized annually, which I find to be unacceptable. When you adopt animals from a shelter, you save their lives and reduce the number of pets needing homes. This, in turn, helps lower the cost of running animal shelters, resulting in taxpayers saving money to run these shelters. Adopting pets from shelters saves a life that would otherwise be wasted if not adopted. Over my life, my family has owned two dogs. Both were adopted from our local county animal shelter. They were Stoley. He was a puppy when we adopted him. He was a great dog. And Ruger, he was about 3 years old when we got him. Both dogs have received free veterinary care and were up to date on all their shots before we adopted, along with being neutered and microchipped. The cost to adopt both dogs was about $100, and that's 1/10 the price of an American Kennel Club registered chocolate lab. So you're saving money by going to an animal shelter. In this speech, I will describe why animal adoption saves lives, the tragic reality for animals who don't get adopted, and the cost of breeders versus adoption. I'll first go over how the adoption saves lives. Adopting a pet from a shelter saves the lives of an animal already born and ready to live instead of waiting for a pet to be born and received from a breeder. Animals that have already been born are ready to be adopted and are oftentimes strays who have had interactions in training by humans. My second dog, Ruger, was housebroken. He knew basic obedience instructions and needed little new training. If you work with a breeder to get an animal, you have two options to get a pet. First, a litter may have several individual animals already born for you to pick from, or you may order a puppy or kitten, which means an entire litter of puppies or kittens will be born to fill your order, adding additional pets into an already large population of animals, leading to an already overburdened animal population. According to the American Veterinary Medical Association, the AVMA, due to the lack of genetic variations in breeders, and diseases such as hip dysplasia, inherited cancers, mitral valve disease, and osteosarcoma are often passed on from generation to generation, providing you with an inferior and highly disease-prone animal. So adopting from a shelter a vet has examined could be safer and more cost-effective in the long run. Now that we've talked about how adoption is excellent, let's talk about the other end of the spectrum and the animals who don't get adopted. As discussed at the beginning of this speech, around 920,000 animals are euthanized annually. Many of these animals were never given a chance to become adopted due to the black dog syndrome. The ASPCA says the theory holds. This is a phenomenon in which black or dark colored animals, especially dogs, are passed over for adoption in favor of lighter colored animals. Animal Shelters uses the term BDD, or big black dog, to describe the type of larger, dark colored mixed breed animals said to be passed over by adopters. Black cats are reported to be treated in the same manner. According to an article by Michigan State University College of Law Legal and Historical Center, most states require holding an animal for 3 to 5 days before the animal can be euthanized, placed for adoption, or sold. Once an animal is placed in a shelter, there's not much time for the animal to be saved. So we got to get there quick. I'm now going to go over the cost of running animal adoption shelters. The thought of being able to save every animal sounds appealing. It really does. However, in reality, it is not possible. Unfortunately, all things cost money. And according to an article by Celestial Pets, the cost to operate an animal shelter is approximately $500,000 to $800,000 annually. These numbers represent the cost of feeding the animals and having staff members care for the animals in the shelters. Adopting a pet, you will help alleviate some of that cost. A little can go a long way. Country or city operated animal shelters cost taxpayers money to operate, which means money needed to upgrade parks, manage school systems, and operate emergency services is used to run these facilities. These type of shelters often hold animals for a minimum number of days before euthanizing them to make room for new arrivals. The chances of an animal living very long in these shelters is minimal. In conclusion, by adopting animals from shelters, you help save their lives and reduce the number of pets needing homes. This in turn helps lower the cost of running animal shelters, resulting in taxpayers saving money to maintain these facilities. Adopting an animal from a shelter allows you to feel like you have saved a valuable life. It gives the animal other chance to have a life filled with love and affection. By adopting, you make room for another animal to become adopted. By paying the relatively low cost for the adoption, you help provide shelter, vet care, and food for the animal in the shelter. What could be better for you and your family than having a new member of your family who wants nothing more to give than unconditional love and attention? Does anybody have any questions?